After his iconic run in Lucha Underground, Swerve Strickland was signed by the WWE in 2019, where he would be known as Isaiah Swerve Scott, and would debut in the NXT developmental brand.
When I got the email saying like, we're officially doing it, no tryout or anything, we want to sign you right away. And it was just like, I couldn't even enjoy the rest of the vacation. I had like 3 or 4 more days there left. And it was just like, no, I'm gonna get back, go home and work. That's what and it never feels like work, because like I'm always like, the beauty of it is just like wondering what can happen next. And one of my trainers here, Terry Taylor, he always mentioned, he's like, if you quit, you know what's going to happen, but if you keep going and pushing, endless things can happen. You don't know what can happen. You still might fail, but there's a high possibility you won't fail. But if you quit, you know you're going to fail. So I'm always just like looking to try to push forward, see what happens. What's behind this door? What's behind this door? Open every cabinet, nick and cranny, window, door to figure out what is more to explore. And I'm maturing and still evolving. You know, there's benefits and negativities to everything, but I always try to look at the benefits to these things that I don't have anymore, like a name. You know, I don't have that name anymore, but what can I do with this name? There's something I can evolve and play with this. You know, I don't have that song anymore, but what can I do with this video screen and this song and this new look and this new hair, these new tattoos? What can I do with this stuff? Maybe make it better and evolve it moving forward.
Here in NXT, Swerve would have his first real feud with Santos Escobar, who had also worked for Lucha Underground underneath the name King Cuerno. The video you're watching is just one part of a series of videos on this channel that I'm making, so make sure you check out all the other parts linked in the playlist at the end of the video, and subscribe so you get notified when new videos in the series are released.
It's interesting to see that people have had that thought about me. Like, I was on the up and up in NXT, and I was like, oh man, you were getting a lot of success. But at the time, there was like no chatter about me in NXT at all, because like for that first year, like I felt like I was just like a good hand to have. And that's also what built up a lot of like that resentment is starting to like build a little bit. It's like, because I put over the Leo Rushes, I put over the Cameron Grimeses, I put over the Santos Escobars, I put over, you know, the Bronson Reeds, the Austin Theories. I kept putting all these people over. I even when MSK first came in, their debut was against me. I put them over. I put over Leon Ruffs. So it was just like, okay. And I had like a couple conversations with Triple H. I'm like, when am I going to be your guy? What is it going to take for me to be your guy? I had three specific conversations with him. I'll never forget them, that I always push the envelope for. Even I texted him one day. I was like, can I have a conversation with you? He was like, oh, is there anything that you can talk to Matt Bloom about? I was like, no.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And then like I would like stare holes in him all day at production, just like, I haven't forgotten this. I wanted them to feel the heat that I was like glaring on them. And finally, like when we did have a conversation, I'm like, what is your hesitation putting the ball in my hands? What can't, you know? And he gave me the answers that kind of felt like they were repetitious answers from this person asking them, this person asking them, and the one before. And I was like, okay, that's like, I got it. So I knew going to like keep tapping that egg, it wasn't going to work. So I'm like, okay, here's me. I got to be creative. I got to think again. So now I went around and my time for my promotion was coming up. And I said, okay, this is what I need. This is what I need to do. He's like, well, I can't get you that, but this person's office is open right there. I'm like, okay. So I went to Sean. Me and Sean Michael started really like sitting down, having hour-long tape studies. Just me and him, no distractions, not in the middle of TV day. It was me and him in the office. And we were watching me and Matt Riddle from Defy Wrestling. We were watching PCW Ultra stuff from LA. We were watching like other stuff. I'm like, okay, I want to watch what got you here. Why are you here? That's that's the person I want to see. And that's what turned everything around for me. So it took like a year of like doing all that stuff to get to that point, to be able to do that, to have that equity, to even get that like conversation, that window open. Yeah. And then it was just like, okay, cool. And that's where it started really turning around. That's where like my hair color started changing, put the grills in my mouth and all that other stuff. I really started dabbing into the hip hop feel of things, and it was something like me and Bronson had another TV match, Jonah, and we just went at it because like I feel like Triple H didn't feel like I was like intense enough.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so we just beat the crap out of each other. Boom, had a banger, and then it was like that's when the light bulb went off for them. And then Stephanie McMahon came up and said, "You're like my favorite heel. You're my favorite heel here." And then everything just kind of whirlwind and went up from there.
It was not until 2021 that Swerve would get to do something potentially impactful by leading the newly formed Hit Row faction that would also include Ashante Adonis, Top Dolla, and manager B-Fab.
Like they were doing a group in the performance center called the Hitmakers. It was Ashante, Top Dolla, and B-Fab. They were their own separate group, and they were supposed to take off and do something in another project that didn't end up happening in the performance center. And I just came off of the Falls Count Anywhere match with Leon Rupp. So I was like in a groove, and Triple H felt that I was in a really good groove right now with my character shift. You know, like everything just went boom into a different way. You know, my hair color, my grills in my mouth, and all this. I was doing such a drastic change, and he loved it. He wanted to support it and put more fire underneath it and support what I was doing. So he just said, "Hey, we have AJ Francis, Shanti, and B-Fab over here doing some stuff. So I want to put them with you." I'm like, okay. And there we go. So it was just literally as simple as that. So we just started hanging out a lot more, watching Raw and SmackDown together, and like literally having these interactions. The way we were talking and laughing and clowning at each other, among other things, we were just like, you know what, we need to do the same thing, keep the same energy, and put it on TV. And so they were like, cool. Yeah, let's do this. So we were like, Top Dolla had a group on the Independence called The Row. And that was a great concept. Like he was leading this group of, it was like a lot of rappers, friends of his that like rapped on the side. They weren't real wrestlers. They were just supporting his matches and stuff like that and come out with them. And I always thought that was dope. And then they were the Hit Makers. So we took those two concepts and just put them together and made Hit Row. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I like the symmetry of things. You know, I like how it's like 3 letters and 3 letters and 6 letters. It's just evened out. It wasn't like nothing like too off-putting. So it was like, yo, we got a lot of ideas. So we started just drawing things, coming up with concepts to outfits, and like, oh, what are you wearing on Wednesday? Oh, I'm wearing this. Okay, Tuesday I'm gonna rock this. I'm wearing these colors. Okay, I got these boots. I got this hat. I'm always gonna have a vest on. All right, cool. I'm always having like. So we all end up finding ways to be, to look like we were identical, but also separate at the same time. Yeah. You know, we all had our individual personalities in our outfits. Therefore, you kind of knew who each person was, what each person brought as far as style to the group. You know, I like the denim. I like the more rugged look. Mm-hmm. You know, Ashante's the pretty boy, slick back hair, the perm, bright colors, like the flamboyant sneakers or shorts that he's wearing. Sometimes he walks in and me and Dolla like, we were like, okay, and then we just go through the curtain. So, but B-Fab is always killing her outfits, man. She is born to be a star. She's born to be up front, you know, and we try to put her up front as much as possible because she just steals everybody's attention as soon as she walks in that CWC. So B-Fab is like definitely like our core and heart. She's our heartbeat of the group, you know. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what we do. And Hit Row is just like it's a culture that we're trying to push forward, and we're trying to change the game in sports entertainment for sure. It's like, how often are you going to get like 4 actual, like, or I would say 3 actual musicians and artists that actually wrestle at a high level?
It was also at this time Swerve was able to obtain the NXT North American Championship, a title that had previously been held by Adam Cole, Ricochet, Keith Lee, and Johnny Gargano. Oh, wait. No one who has ever held this belt has ever really done anything on the main roster. Well, other than Damian Priest, maybe this would be like that. Well, Swerve would hold on to that title for just over 100 days, dropping the title to Carmelo Hayes in what you could safely call an overbooked angle involving the kidnapping of his teammates and a surprise second title defense after already having retained against Santos Escobar that night. But this was pretty well expected after Hit Row was called up to the WWE at the start of October, only to be cut from the company in a round of layoffs shortly thereafter.
It got rid of Brianna right away. It was like, oh, that indicated to me and everybody else was like, I don't think they feel confident about us. They're not as, I don't think they believe in us as much as they think they should believe in us.
Yeah.
And that started like, I kind of seen the right, for me, the writing was on the walls. I'm like, oh, okay. There's not as far as we can go if they're already just like dismantling pieces like Legos off the bat.
Picking you guys apart. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially the time where WWE was going, everybody was kind of like flying off the shelf left and right, and right. It was literally like the movie Nope. People just getting sucked into the sky, and it was like, oh, okay, he's gone now. So that once again reignited a whole new fire in me. When I got let go, it was like, oh, I'm gonna hit the phones and I'm gonna like make myself the hottest commodity in wrestling. So like right away, I was just like, the first 3 months in AEW made me completely forget about my last 3 years in WWE.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like I put all that focus and energy and that resentment and stuff into building something, and now it's like I'm here 7 months and I truly believe without a shadow of a doubt I'm the best acquisition of 2022 in any company. Because I've been consistent. I'm here. I'm like, you don't just see me on a wrestling ring. You see me every which way. Like, there's a camera, I'm going to be in it. There's an interview, I'm going to be in front of it. There's a song, I'm going to be rapping on it. There's an artist, I'm going to be here. Like, I want to be everywhere. And that's the kind of those not really little, but those big disappointments turn into big successes later on.
But that wasn't the end for Hit Row. In 2022, they reunited in the WWE without Swerve for an uneventful run as a tag team before disbanding again in 2024. They also got together for a music video, this time with Swerve but without Adonis, for the song Price Went Up. And that's it for Swerve in the WWE. It is hard to imagine Swerve Strickland getting the kind of spot that he has in All Elite Wrestling in the WWE the way things were going. I don't know how long it would have taken him to achieve that, what that would have looked like. We have seen time and again, people with strong visions often are hampered by WWE and the way that they do things. And that was certainly happening to Swerve. You'll see when he enters AEW and gets control over his image and his storylines and his presentation, what he's able to do with that. A great example of that is the match he had with Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door 2024. Now, as I'm shooting this, it's just a few days after that event happened. I was there live. I just watched it again. This was never going to happen for Swerve in the WWE. The run that he's on, being the face of the company, coming out to his own music, his own gimmick, his own culture, being able to bring in the people that he's bringing in. I don't know if the WWE would have worked with this guy this way. I don't know if that happens over there. So many great moments in this match. Swerve hitting a swerve stomp on Will Ospreay as he's trying to do an Oz cutter. The swerve stomp onto the announce desk outside. The way these guys are like countering each other's moves like they're in the Matrix. I mean, it's crazy how good this match is. If AEW didn't exist, what would have happened to Swerve? He would have had the run that he had. He would have been let go. And then what? This guy toils away on the independent scene where we can't, see what he's doing as easily as we can in AEW. He doesn't have another platform. He's got to spend years and years and years building himself back up to be re-signed by the WWE to maybe be featured again. Like, guys, we need two companies. Like, we need more companies. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. about Swerve Strickland, about his run in the WWE. Was he even on your radar when that stuff was going on? I mean, I think that Swerve is a guy that's just coming onto a lot of our radars now as being the AEW champion. I was expecting a lot of people to kind of be drawn to these videos to find out about him. Like I said, this is like the third video that I've shot on Swerve now. The plan is to shoot a couple more. So if you want to see more videos on Swerve, let me know down in the comments below. If you have any other wrestlers you'd like me to take a look at, especially a big in-depth look with like multi-part videos, let me know down in the comments below, and check out another video on this channel. There's probably a few out there that you missed because YouTube doesn't like to show my videos to people. In fact, because of that, I gotta mention out my Patreon. For just $1 a month, you can help support this channel and help keep it going. That's like the #1 thing you can do. If you really like the content here, make sure you check out the Patreon link down below. And grave diggers, keep digging.
He is I and I am him, and I'm the undisputed trend Matt Taven. And this dork behind the camera, some Melvin told me to say, grave diggers keep on digging. Whatever that means.
I am AEW wrestler and Ring of Honor tag champ Mike Bennett. And remember, grave diggers keep digging, but not the monster truck. Even though my son really likes that monster truck, I kind of like Son of a Digger, and so I'm going off on a tangent about monster trucks because my son really loves monster truck, but we're talking about the YouTube channel, so make sure, grave diggers, keep on digging, baby.
So this is Mark doing one happy private party, saying what up to the grave diggers, and doing your thing, bro.
Alright, like, subscribe, and watch another video, or be cursed. If you're cursed, that means the grave diggers will keep digging your graves, so you probably want to do it.